Yeah, we've looked at, so if you look at our investments, the way we framed it out are kind of larger infrastructure projects, and then smaller, getting dollars to Indonesia projects. We wanted to balance. So, I mean, we're looking at the Trans-Sumatra Toll Road, for example, on the larger side. We're looking at a lot of renewable energy. So the project called the Sidra wind power expansion, we're looking closely at that. We're very sensitive to the cost per kilowatt hour of electricity in Indonesia. We want to lower that cost on the dollar side for the average person in Indonesia. Let's lower the cost of energy. So I think that's really important, is our whole renewable energy portfolio. And then at the same time, we're looking at small and medium-sized investment. And we're looking at expanding out our healthcare investment. One of the things that Pa Luhut and Eric and I spoke, and I know President Jokowi has been very oriented toward this, is I would love to see a very large American university in Indonesia, and I know the Indonesian government would love to see that. And I think that's possible now with the special economic zones as part of the omnibus law, but I would love to see a large American university set up shop. I would also love to see a very large American health system, like a Cleveland Clinic, a Johns Hopkins set up shop. So that was another thing we discussed, because again, one way to bring Indonesia and the United States closer is to set up these institutions where folks are very familiar with each other. So I think that was really interesting. We also made a trip over to West Java, right? So we were over in West Java, and I had a really good conversation with the governor of West Java,
Ridwan Kamil,
who indicated, oh, go ahead.
Yes, the governor. And then what were you talk about?
Yeah, so we spoke a lot about investment in West Java. I was very impressed with the progress that West Java has been making. Again, and your governor there in West Java really wants to lean into the private market. And so we actually discussed Tesla there. We discussed setting up a university campus, and then we discussed a whole bunch of healthcare and infrastructure investment. So I wanted to make sure, because I know it's important to speak in Jakarta and spend time, but also wanted to get out into Indonesia and speak at the governor level too, because I think local support is so important.
Can you elaborate more about one of the point that you talked with the governor in West Java about Tesla in West Java? What was it?
Yeah, the governor of West Java was quite interested in attracting Tesla. I can tell, obviously, within Indonesia, there's a lot of interest in Tesla, which is fine. It's a great company. Elon's a great guy. And so he was quite interested also. And I think you've got a little bit less of the nickel deposits, but I think his point was we'd love to kind of do the post-production work in West Java. And he was personally interested in getting involved. So I think they were very clear that there was a lot of interest in American investment, and they wanted to be very aggressive. So we discussed that as well.
Any specific sectors that you are interested in West Java besides the setting up university, healthcare?
That's a lot.
Okay.
We discussed some infrastructure projects as well. But yes, education, healthcare, technology came up a lot. I think West Java has really kind of started to identify itself as a technology lead within Indonesia. This is an area we're quite interested because Indonesia has a very ripe and strong tech startup scene. And we've noticed that. And so that's really appealing. I think it's a place where Indonesia and the United States can really collaborate. In fact, one of the things that the governor of West Java suggested is setting up a sister relationship with California. As you may know, he went to Berkeley in California is where he went to school. So I think he has a real affinity for San Francisco. And also you have some of the tech startup atmosphere. So again, I'm going to bring that back. We'll let the governor of California, Gavin Newsom, let them know. But what's interesting about West Java and California, you have about the same population size. And I think a real focus on tech. So that was another area that came out quite strong, and another area that we're interested in investing in because our private market is oriented toward it.